Hello everybody and welcome to the 2020 Music City Open. Today we have footage of round 2 MJ18 lead card footage from Two Rivers Disc Golf Course. At Two Rivers we've got an open course, a lot of good, fun, hilly holes, lots of elevation, and good chance to see our card unleash some bombs. We've got Isaiah Snyder out of Van Leer, Tennessee, Devin Prasad out of Brentwood, Tennessee, and Will Howard out of Greenville, South Carolina. It's worth mentioning this is Devin's first ever tournament. Isaiah, I've seen him at the Music City Open for years now. He loves this tournament, and he's holding the lead right now by 3 strokes over Devin. Hole 1, we got a par 4, 433 feet. This hole is a relatively soft par 4. We're going to have our junior card trying to get down there most of the distance and then hopefully have an easy approach for the birdie putt. Here we got Isaiah. He's going to go for a hyzer around that middle tree. He's going to bite off most of the distance and have an outside look for eagle. Devin, he's throwing a sheriff right here, kind of around the outside. He's going to be just short of where Isaiah lands. Hopefully has an easy approach. Will cuts it a little tighter, tests that tree, cuts just in front of it, and then we have his upshot right here. Here we got Devin throwing like a Anheuser flex approach to the basket, just trying to loft it in. Isaiah, we got his putt for eagle right here on the first hole, just short from about 60 feet. We got Devin from about 28 feet for the birdie. That's a good putt. Devin's a very solid putter from circle 1 and circle 2. Very straight putt, very consistent. Here we got Will, he's also going to collect the birdie. And hole 1, we're going to start with the star frame. Hole 1, relatively easy hole, good one to get for all of our card. Hole 2 is going to be 305 feet over this valley and into the trees by the back side of the hill. There is OB right where you see the trees and the brush. There is a fence there. Hopefully everyone's going to be able to avoid that, but kind of just want to hang something out, have a little bit of fade at the end, and it is hard to get it to land on this hillside as Isaiah's going high and wide. To me, looks like it's coming up a little bit short. It's going to have about 30 footer for birdie. We got Devin. Oh, he's going to be testing that OB on the right side, and he ends up finding it. It's not how you want to start the round. Will, he's going for a direct line at the basket. This shot is looking great. Got the distance dialed. He might have that tree in the way, but you know he's got a short putt left for birdie. Devin gives it a good bid from about 65 feet. We got Isaiah from about circle's edge. This putt is pretty far uphill. Got to make sure he gives it the nice height. Oh, just a tiny bit too high. It was a great putt though from that distance. Oh, Will, missing a short one. Hopefully we won't see that again, but you know, that's a mistake. It's gonna happen. Taps in for 3 at least. No harm done. We got Devin, he's gonna be taking a bogey early on. Able to clean up his 10-footer. Then Isaiah taps in for par. So no birdies on hole 2. Green was a little treacherous with the hill. We got hole 3, par 4, 612 feet. This one hugs the tree line the entire way there. You know, you get a chance to unleash a drive into the field. This will really showcase some of their distance and if they're able to keep it out of the brush on the right side. There's no real reason to test it. You have all the room that you need out to the left, and then the green is sloped to the right towards the brush, so it's pretty hard to land it in the correct spot with the right angle onto the green. And Will's going to be testing that right side. He's going to be in the brush, not where you want to be. We got Devin. Oh, he's doing a similar thing. He's hugging the brush, but it comes out at the end. Luckily, he throws something overstable enough. We got Devin first. He's going to be throwing a mid-range forehand approach, trying to match the angle of the hill as he lands by the basket. Just a little too much hyzer. He's going to be just outside the circle, but it's going to be in a tough spot to putt from.
Oh, that's alright.
Isaiah is throwing an overstable putter on a forehand approach. Makes the same mistake that Devin does. He's going to be a little bit into the brush, but a little closer than Devin is. And Will, in a terrible spot, just has to pitch out. But luckily, this is a par 4. He still has a chance to save par. Just laying one up from about 100 feet. And here we have Devin. Hard to see where he is, but it's about 40 feet from in the woods, and it's a good run from where he was. Isaiah, another circle's edge putt, a little bit uphill. Same distance as the last hole. He's able to make that one. That's a good putt. So Isaiah's going to go 2 down through 3, have a solid start. That's where he wants to be. And he just barely missed a putt to go 3 down through 3. So Isaiah's looking good right now. Will and Devin are going to take pars. Hole 3 definitely can be treacherous with the wood line on the right, and you see it's very close. It's within the circle, and just it's tough to match the angle of the hill so that you land by the basket. Hole 4, we're going to the 239-foot position. It's going to be just a simple hyzer up the hill. It's going to be considerably uphill, but the distance really shouldn't be an issue for these guys. They should be able to crash a hyzer up near the green and hopefully have a close putt. Isaiah looks like he's doing just that. Beautiful shot. He's going to be within 15 feet. Will looks like he's throwing a mid-range of some sort. Just a little too straight, not enough height. Will be downhill about 40 feet from the basket. We've got Devin throwing a destroyer on this hole. Just high hyzer. Good height and angle, just a little bit short. We got Will. You can see already how the elevation can play into these putts. I mean, Will is putting well uphill right now. Just short again. A little bit of brutal roll. Should be able to make that putt, but leaves a little bit of a tester for par. We got Devin from just inside the circle. Just drops at the last second, a little short. Isaiah was a little bit further away than it looked from the catch cam. Maybe about 30 feet. He's going to really test his putt right now. Just misses it right side. I'm sure that's one he'd like to have back, but... Oh, and Will. Struggling with these short range putts right now. Gonna take another bogey. Just kind of on a roller coaster right now. Having short putt for birdie missed and a bogey. Isaiah's gonna clean up for par. We're gonna get to hole 5. 345 feet downhill. Now this tree that you see right in front of the tee pad cuts off the angle, so it's kind of an awkward backhand hyzer flip up, or you can kind of go around the last tree and try to fade in, but it's tough to avoid that first tree, and Isaiah's going to hang it out wide. But that's going far. He's going to be way past the basket, but he's going to have an outside look, maybe a layup. Devin going for a similar line as Isaiah, but he clips a branch. He's going to get most of the distance still. He's just going to be just outside circle 2. Will hopefully looking to recover after some short missed putts. Oh, that's looking great. Flips it up beautifully. He's going to be 10 feet away for the birdie. You guys, they always turn over a little bit on the approach, but should be able to clean that up. Devin from about 70 feet. Just looks like a layup. Isaiah's gonna take a par. Hole 5 was playing as one of the more difficult holes on the course. Here at Two Rivers, we have a lot of opportunity for birdie. You're not going to see a lot of technical lines, a lot of shorter shots, but that's a really good birdie from Will. This is a tough hole to get the angle control right, get the height right at this elevation, and just get it close to the basket. So, good birdie from Will. As we get hole 6, 310 feet up the hill. This hole plays well above the stated distance. I'd say it probably plays 380 feet going up this hill. It's really going to test their distance, and not a whole lot to it other than just bombing it up the hill and see if you get a long look. Here we got Will. I think he's throwing the same disc as he was on the last hole. It's going to be a little short right side.
That's fine.
Isaiah throws a little too overstable, a little low. I'm sure he would like to get more flip up on that shot. Devin's going overstable, force over Anheuser up the hill and just doesn't get quite the height he needed, and you know he's gonna have 130 foot up shot. Oh, he's gonna leave it well short. That's gonna be a tester for par, and you know Devin's even right now. I mean, this is only his second tournament round ever. As Will puts a great bid from 65, but I'm sure Devin isn't getting off to the start he would want. But I mean, this is a tester putt, and if he can make this to stay even, that'll be a great confidence booster. And as he does, that's a great putt. Isaiah put a good bid on it from about 55 feet, and he's got a little comebacker for par. He's got that. Will, just a little cleanup. Hole 6, 3 pars. Pretty expected. It's a long distance to get up that hill, but not a whole lot of danger. So we get into hole 7, 366 feet. We're going considerably downhill, and you want to throw this hyzer line in between the two big trees that you'll see. It's a really fun hole to, you know, test the height as you're throwing so far downhill. It's kind of tough to gauge what the right height is, and Will does it perfectly. It's gonna be 25 feet. That's a great shot. Isaiah throws something a little faster than Will, gets a little higher, clips the branch, and he's gonna be long left of the pin. Devin, after a great par putt, just gets into the ground. Not a common mistake you'll see from Devin. And he plays this big hyzer. It's gonna be a little short. It's gonna be a long look for par. This is a scary putt if he runs it and goes too far past, but it looks like it's just a layup for bogey. Isaiah's got another one of those circle edge testers. He's had a few of those at this point. And he's so close. He's dialed in. He's just missing it by a little bit here or there. And Will to get 2 of the last 3 birdies. That's a good putt. We're gonna have Devin getting a bogey on this hole, and Isaiah's gonna be getting the par. Tough mistake for Devin throwing it that low off the tee, but I'm sure that we won't see that again. Hole 8, 259 feet, again up the hill. There's a low ceiling, slight turnover. You just want to get under the ceiling and get far enough up there so that you have a putt. But you don't have a lot of room to work the height with it. As you see Will, he's going to leave it early. He got the height control pretty good, but he's going to be well outside circle 1 to the left side. And Isaiah peers this. It's just a little high, a little left, but great line, great height. He's going to be just about 28 feet there. Devin looking to recover if the last one makes the same mistake that Will does. So he's going to, we got Devin from about, let's say, 70 feet. Gonna try to look to give this one a floaty run at it. Jumps it, good spin. Oh, just barely off the band. That was a great run from Devin. Will is just gonna be 50 feet, a little short left. Notice some of Will's putts have come out early left side, maybe just not committed enough, and Isaiah, that's a great putt for birdie. Going to a straddle, then getting it under the band from just inside circle's edge, down the hill. It's a beautiful putt. It's a good birdie, and Isaiah's playing solid right now. 3 down through 8 holes. You know, he's missed a few putts here or there that he would like to have, but you know, he's playing solid right now. It's worth noting that Isaiah's already kind of pulling away from our card. He has a 6-stroke lead for the tournament over Will, and you know, hopefully he's looking to hold on to that. Hopefully he's not changing his game plan, just sticking to what he knows, throwing the shots he knows. And here we got hole 9, 337 feet. Again, I'm going to keep mentioning that the uphill, it's going to be noticeable. It's going to play longer than 337. And you've got these trees as kind of a backstop if you're able to get that distance. And this road to the left is OB. It does come into play if you leave it too high. But Isaiah throws a beautiful shot. It's going to be left with a 20-footer for birdie. I think this is really going to test Will and Devin's distance on this one. I think Will just threw too overstable of a disc on this shot. I think he can get it there. I think he threw something too overstable and tried to force it there. And Devin, that's a good line. He's going to end up really similar to Will. They're going to be long circle 2 putts. Will is looking great on that one. Oh, chains out. So with the 60-footer on hole 6 and now that putt on hole 9, Will's had some long putts that had a chance to go in, and Devin puts a good run on it, just a little short. Here's Isaiah from about the same distance as he made the last one, squeaks it in left side of the cage. That's a great putt. Will and Devin gonna tap in pars. No damage done on hole 9. We're gonna move to the back 9. Hole 10, this used to be the original hole 1, how I've always known the course. 239 feet down into these trees, and just pretty much choose any line you want to go around the trees. You can go forehand to the left of them or backhand hyzer. You know, this is a hole where you really choose your line and just let it work. And Isaiah chooses to go forehand with, I believe that's a overstable putter. He's going to leave it within 20 feet. Will, he's going to keep it a little low, but that looks like a great shot. He's going to be about pin high. Devin's going to be throwing a 400G M4 here. Stand straight. It's going to test that OB path to the back, but luckily he stays safe. So everyone's within about 45 feet here, Devin being out. Devin's usually very deadly from that range. Maybe not the run he was looking for. And Will, his putting struggles are continuing, but he's throwing the disc well, and he's not falling too far behind the pace. And Isaiah gets his 3rd birdie in a row. And then Will's going to have Tester from about 20 feet to save par. That's a great putt. Alright, hole 11. We got 334 feet over this hill. You want to avoid this first tree and its branches. You want to go around, throw a hyzer, and then land somewhere on the hillside and hopefully have a putt. Isaiah's going to be throwing that same disc he's been throwing the past few holes. Little flip up at the beginning, and And that's a great line. Isaiah's on his game right now. He's really pure in lines, making putts. We'll see if he can keep up the streak on this hole. And when Will cuts it early, he's going to clip the branch. He's going to have a long upshot to save his par. Alright, Devin, hopefully looking to get some birdies. I don't think he's gotten one since hole 1. He's going to have that same outside look that he's had so many times so far, and hopefully he'll be able to connect on one. Will's going to leave himself a long tester for par. Alright, let's see if Devin can hit this one. Short, he's just leaving some of these outside looks short, and, you know, maybe he'll look to adjust on that later in the round and in round 3. Oh, and Will holding the follow through, really committing to this putt. That's a great circle 2 putt. Build the confidence, you know, make up for some of those short misses. And Isaiah, not to be overlooked, gets another birdie. He's going to be 6 down through 11 holes, and at this point I believe Malachi Arzola from Chase Card is the closest chaser to him, and I believe he has a 6-stroke lead at this point. We got hole 12 par 4, 423 feet. And this hole is completely blind over the hill. You've got to trust to know where you want your drive to land. And ideally, I would say the left side is better. It opens up the angle more. If you're pinched off to the right, you have to throw a specific forehand or backhand anhyzer line to the basket. Like where Will is over there, he's going to have a really tight angle, but I think Isaiah is going to be in a more ideal place. Devin as well, but I mean, you can still find an approach to get a birdie 3 on this hole from where they are. Devin's going to go forehand through that gap, gets around the tree. He's going to be circle's edge, deep right. Got Will, he's going to go backhand anhyzer. This is a really technical shot to get the height right. Not sure if that was the gap he was going for, but man, he almost throws it in from that distance. Isaiah's just going to pitch up real quick. See where Isaiah was on the left side, he had a very open angle, and the distance definitely helped too, and Will's going to connect with another great putt. Devin from about 20 feet, oh that is not something we see often from Devin. He's a great putter, and just, maybe the nerves getting to him, maybe he's, you know, not so relaxed playing right now, he's just maybe a little nervous. Second round lead card at an A tier, but he'll get his par. You know, he's not getting a ton of bogeys. It's just not been the most birdie filled round, and just playing a little slower than he'd want to. Here we got 13, 343 feet. Also another hole that's completely blind. You have to trust to go through this double mando off the tee pad, and then slowly drift to the right and land on the hillside where the basket is. This is a very difficult birdie, probably the most difficult birdie up to this point. And Isaiah gets the distance just a little bit short, but he will be left of the basket. He's going to have a long circle 2 bid at it.
That'll be one.
Will's throwing that same flip up disc they threw on holes 5 and 6, and he's going to be a lot closer than Isaiah. And we got Devin, I believe that's an undertaker. Oh, he throws it into the tree. And we gotta see how he's gonna recover here. This is a tough forehand to throw from this spot. Just going M4, turning it over, trusting it to come back. He's gonna be outside now. I'm curious to see, I wonder if Devin will run this. Being so far and with the hill behind the basket, it looks like maybe a little bit of a run. But he's going to be taking another bogey. He's going to sit 2 up for the round, which after shooting an even at Naval Hill, I'm sure 2 over at 2 Rivers is not what he was looking for. Will gets the drive really close. That's a great drive. Oh, and he's so close from just outside the circle. Great run, just a little bit off. Isaiah's going to clean up par. Devin's got a short putt left for bogey, and Will get a par as well. Again, hole 13 being one of the harder holes for the field as Devin squeaks in the putt for bogey. It's really tough to get to the basket, just being blind, and you have to know how far left or right to go, and to judge the distance, it's really not a shot you practice often. Hole 14, we got 326 feet, par 3. It's going to be going down and to the right. It's going to be a really low ceiling through a gap. This is going to be a really fun hole to watch the disc go over the valley and just glide for a while. You can see it's just to the right of that big tree in the middle. And Isaiah, worth noting, he had a 5-hole birdie streak that ended on 13, and he's looking to make that 6 for 7 if he can make that putt. Will trusting that. Oh, Will's been peering these lines all day, throwing that straight hyzer flip up and just turns it over. Maybe wasn't trusting that tree being on the left side. Devin's gonna go nose up, turn over, trying to flex something down there, but just too many branches to catch. He's gonna throw his mid-range. Oh, that's a great upshot. He's gonna be parked for the par. Will from about 90 feet. Not looking to do too much, just put it close. No drama for the par. Isaiah. Oh man. Not expecting him to miss that, but it was a tough stance on the hillside. 20-25 feet. He does have a few strokes to play with. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but I'm sure it's one he'd like to have back. And so we're just going to have a bunch of pars on hole 14. Here we got 15, one of the shortest holes on the course. 213 feet up the hill. And this is one that you hope to see at least 2 birdies on the card, and just a straight shot, not much of a low ceiling. And you have a backstop behind the basket. You really want to get this one. Oh, Isaiah, he's been on the money on almost every hole and just saws it off early. Hopefully Will is able to. Yeah, Will throws a great shot. He's going to be in the circle, putting well uphill though. Devin's going to throw that same sheriff he's been throwing. He clips a leaf, kind of fades out left side, and he's going to have about 45 feet. Isaiah looks like he's giving this a bit of a run. Ooh, cuts it close. It's going to be an easy par. Again, just not Devin's day in the putting green. It's a putt that I've seen him make many times. He's really great from that outside circle range, 40-45 feet. And Will is going to get our only cards birdie. Devin's going to get par, and so will Isaiah. And you know, as we're coming to the closing stretch of the round, there's not going to be a whole lot of movement. Isaiah's having a really solid round. He's getting a lot of the holes. And Will is having a respectable round, 4 down. Devin being 2 over, only birdieing hole 1 so far, I believe. You know, he's going to want to get some of these last holes and birdie them, and, you know, hopefully save at least a little bit of grace for the round. Will going down this left gap, but kind of fading out early before he's able to get to the basket. That's going to be a really scary putt for birdie. Isaiah's going to take this flip up line. Oh, but he clips a branch, but it keeps it on line. He's going to be circle's edge. Devin looking to follow Isaiah's line, but he's going to throw some overstable low and try to get it to glide down there and get a skip. Oh, but it hits the tree, and he's rolling. You can see it roll over by our catch cam, Dylan. And he's going to have another one of those looks that he just hasn't been connecting on all day. And Will runs very scary putt. He's going to have a tough comeback up the hill. Devin, a little short. You know, that might be something he learns from today, is to commit to those circle 2 putts. Great putt from Will. And and really make sure he gets it to the basket. I'm sure we'll cover from this round and have a good third round, but it is his first tournament ever, and he'll use this as a learning experience, and I'm sure he's having fun out there, so that's what matters. And we got hole 17, 311 feet, pretty much wide open hole. It's funny to mention we had a band playing drums you might be able to hear in the background, and we had to tell them to wait for our group to tee off, just being a little distracting. They were respectful about it. Will is just going to fade out early. That will happen commonly on this hole because you have the hill sloping to the left and gravity's going to be pulling it down that way. And Isaiah is going to be testing the OB parking lot over there, and just a shank that we're not used to seeing out of him. Isaiah really had a hot streak towards the middle of the round, but he's kind of slowing down. He's not playing bad, but just getting a lot of pars, no bogeys. Oh, from 60 feet. Oh man, that was such a good run. He's gonna hit the chains, the cage, just barely too much hyzer, and that's a great run. Can't be mad about that one. Devin trying to do the same as Isaiah and just leaving it short. Will from down the hill. This is a long putt. Just gonna pull it right and low. That'll happen a lot on those big uphill putts, is you'll be forced to kind of push them and really put a lot of spin, and that'll sometimes make you put it too low and too far right. So it looks like we're gonna have 3 pars on the hole. We got hole 18, our last hole of the round. 307 feet, and this is a great hole because you can choose whether you want to go left or right of the tree, and the right side is obviously enticing for all of our players going backhand hyzer, but you have to deal with these branches. As you can see, if you go on the left side with a forehand route, then you don't have to deal with the branches as much, but Will's going to come up short of them. They're really in the way and kind of in a really good spot for the perfect backhand. Isaiah's going to be testing them right here. He's going to come just short and somehow gets past the tree and over the basket. He's going to have inside the circle look for birdie. And Devin looking to end his round with a good note. Yeah, that's looking good. It's going to be 25 feet for the birdie. Hopefully he'll be able to connect on that one. Will from about 50 feet short. Maybe some fireworks to end the round. Oh, so close. Just a little low. And Isaiah, if he can make this to go 8 down, that'd be an incredible round. Oh man, he's had maybe 4 or 5 putts from in the circle that are just so close, and we really would have seen something amazing if he would have dropped some of those. Devin with a great birdie. It's going to be a round that Devin is going to learn from and realize it's not the end of the world, but just not his greatest round. Hopefully he'll be able to pick it up in round 3. We're going to see Isaiah with a big lead going into the round 3 of the Music City Open 2020 at Two Rivers. They will be playing round 3 at Cane Ridge Beginner Course, and man, this was a great round to watch. Really good to see some coverage of the juniors, especially at a great course like Two Rivers. Give them a chance to throw some open bombs and just really showcase their skills. And we're going to see that Isaiah has 8 strokes over Will and 11 over Devin, but I believe Malachi Arzola had a great round and will be sitting in 2nd place going into round 3. Devin will be dropping to chase card. And yeah, that's about all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and I will be covering round 3 of the Masters at Two Rivers, so make sure to tune in for that and subscribe to my YouTube channel.